I lived with Mickey when I went to. He's a good friend. I in fact got him into boxing. I got my trainer Freddie Rourke to train him. Mickey was having a rough time as an actor. Has been difficult to work with, which he's not ashamed to say. The problem with Mickey and most great actors, you know, the great actors, when they're not doing the kind of work they want to do, they go nuts, you know. And I think Mickey had a spell. He had a relationship problems, and I think, you know, it all led to a boiling point, and people didn't want to hire him anymore. And he had a low patch, and we sat down together and said, you know, you want to make some money, let's have a few fights. So we set up 10 fights. Freddie Rourke flew in from Vegas to train him. And in fact, it's because of Mickey that Freddie now has this great gym in Los Angeles. He came just to train with Mickey. So we all lived together, trained. Mickey went on a little fight spree, raised his profile again. The most important thing, got him healthy, physically, mentally. And I think it was good for him, discipline, and you know, and the rest is, you know, he's certainly shone again. The thing is, with a great actor like Mickey Rourke, once you have that kind of talent, you're always going to work if you want to work. It's just, you know, the only person to beat Mickey's Mickey. So, yeah, but he's a big avid boxing fan, and not a bad fighter. Big left hooker. It would be nice to work. He's a good friend, and you know, I have a lot of time for Mickey. He's a very misread human being. You know, when you know Mickey's a heart of gold, and he would give anyone anything. You know, he's a very kind man. But he runs deep, and you know, he's not an easy guy to get underneath. But when you peel the layers back, and of course in film, he trusts the camera. I don't think he trusts everyone in life, but he trusts with the camera that if he delivers, it won't let him down. So, you know, he peels the layers off in film, as does the Sean Penns of the world. Day-Lewis, I think, is my favourite actor, other than Brando. And yeah, it's a safe place to be yourself, which the world often isn't, you know. I've been very fortunate. I've worked with some very different directors. I worked with Shane Meadows, who's an English director. He does very small slice-of-life pictures. Did a movie, Dead Man's Shoes, with him, which was a great experience. And then on the other side, I've done 2 films with Oliver Stone, World Trade Center and Alexander. But yeah, I would like to work with some more English directors and European directors. I think there's, of course, the big American stuff pays the bills, and there's some extraordinary independent stuff. But I think, you know, you learn from each experience, and so if I can keep working with people more talented than myself, then they'll bring me along. And so, you know, I'm always trying to find someone to learn from. You know, people ask me, is there such big difference in boxing and film? I honestly think that the preparation is similar. You do, you know, months of prep if you get the luxury of it with a film. And then when they roll camera and action, all the prep goes out the window and it becomes moment to moment to moment. Same with film, you do all your prep, and then you know, same as boxing, you do all your prep and then the bell rings and it's all out the window, it's moment to moment to moment. And I think it's a good, the experience from boxing has given me great discipline in studying and learning to be an actor, which seems like people seem to think I've only just started. When I think back, I've been acting now for almost 20 years. So the old lady I worked with, a lady called Janet Delhanty, she said it'll take you 20 years to become an overnight success. And so it is a lot of work. And the same with the fight game. I boxed from the age of 7. You know, won a WBC title when I was 25, so almost 20 years. You know, people say, who's this kid? He's lucky, he's champion. I thought, I haven't been lucky for 20 years, getting up at 5 o'clock every morning and going to bed at 8 o'clock at night with all my friends in discos. And you know, it's the work. If you put the work in, you know, you can get results. I'm a great example of if I can do it, really anyone could. Because I come from a very simple background, the north of England. But you know, it's the discipline and the work ethic you have to have. I don't believe in movie stars. I think the work shines. Put the work in and you'll shine. That's what shines. No such thing as a star. Just good work. And if you stop doing the work, you'll diminish, you know. So I'm very adamant about, you know, I work with a lot of actors and, you know, they just don't put the work in. And you get found out because, as you know, the camera doesn't lie, or it's very difficult to get away with it in film. I have a great friend here, David Winters, he was one of the stars of West Side Story. People still come up to David, you know, he's 73 now, and you know they watch this movie every Christmas, and he comes alive again. And yeah, you know, if you're lucky enough or fortunate to do a great piece of work in a great picture, then it can be cherished forever. There's a movie, The Warrior King, which is a really wonderful screenplay. David Winters, who I talked about earlier, is directing that. He wants me to play the lead in. He's gone out to Anthony Hopkins, De Niro, really big cast. It's a beautiful film. It's a love story set in the Braveheart, Conan kind of, that kind of material. But underneath the film is a beautiful love story which drives the man to do what he does. And I really connected with the script, so that is something I'm certainly considering. And then, you know, depends what the good Lord brings, you know. I'm always looking for something interesting to do.